Hi, I'm Jörg, and in this video I would like to talk to you about the term ambivert. And if you've never heard about that before, that's alright. I didn't either until today. Because I had a conversation with some friends yesterday and they asked, or we were talking about introversion and extroversion. And while the person that I was talking to was definitely way high in extroversion, she thought of me like I was an extrovert as well, but I don't really feel totally like an extrovert. I know people that are a lot more extroverted than I am. So I knew that there was a term for somewhere in the middle, but I didn't know it was ambivert. And I looked up a blog, which I have in the screen on the left side. Left side. Do everything in the mirror. Yes, on the left side, that is talking about what is an introvert and what are the differences. Yeah, so if that is recognizable to you, or you have someone in your friend group or your colleagues that display sometimes characteristics of extroversion but also introversion, then they might be an ambivert. And to understand like this spectrum, instead of that it's like, oh, you're either an introvert or an extrovert and there's nothing in between, this can help you understand people just a little bit better. And yeah, if you're an ambivert yourself, you might have also been called an outgoing introvert or an antisocial extrovert, right? So an extrovert who needs time to recharge before socializing or likes to be alone more than a typical extrovert, or a social introvert, which is an introvert that can dial up into extroversion when needed. And then they talk about extroversion and introversion to describe how someone reacts to people. And I think this really counts for me. So when I am in the right mood, I can really be extroverted when, for example, going out to a bar or a club. But when I'm at home, I really like to be introverted and do some reading or do some courses by myself or listen to some music by myself. And it also counts on what happened beforehand. So sometimes when I'm around people a lot for a long period of time, I become more extroverted. And also the vice versa happens. So when I'm not around people a lot, I become more introverted. And they have this little cool table here, which is extrovert, ambivert, and introvert characteristics, where an introvert enjoys spending time with others, an ambivert will enjoy others but need time alone. This is very recognizable for me. An introvert enjoys spending time alone, mostly. So I don't think it could be a little bit better described. I think they prefer to spend their time alone. And an extrovert is outgoing most of the time, almost always. And an ambivert can be outgoing in the right context, and an introvert is reserved. So that's the spectrum of that characteristic. Extrovert prefers to work on teams. Ambivert can do both, and an introvert prefers to work alone. And here they talk about that people judge very fast based on the facial expression that you make if you're either an introvert or an extrovert. But they don't think about the ambivert, which is like, they could be either one. Yeah. So yesterday during the conversation, this was also mentioned. So it was a conversation with three people, and one of them said like, oh yeah, but he asked like me like, oh, do you recharge from when you are in a social setting, or do you not? Because that's the question. If you answer that, then you know if you're an introvert or an extrovert. And I say it depends. So it's an extroverted trait to recharge from social settings. So you have to be in social settings to recharge. An introvert will be the opposite. But for an ambivert, sometimes you recharge, but sometimes it's draining, depending on the context and depending on who you talk to. So here they talk about the spectrum, right? So high extroversion, low extroversion. And it's not like, are you ambivert or introvert or extrovert? No, it's like, where are you on the spectrum? Where are you on, how extroverted are you if you think of yourself as an extrovert? How introverted are you? Or where are you on the scale, right? I don't know where they got this from. And I don't know, I haven't looked at that research, but apparently they interviewed over 300 salespeople, and ambiverts basically are better salespeople, according to that research. Even better than extroverts, apparently. Where people always think of extroverts as being the best salespeople. But yeah. And the reason why is because ambiverts can listen, but they can also lead. So mirroring and leading, pacing and leading. And if you're both good at those things, then yeah, the client will be felt that they be listened to, but also the assertiveness can be taken when needed. And I really found, for me, selling is not that difficult. I had to practice at the beginning, but I really like to do it now because I think that's, well, different subject, but I think of it as advising and listening. So 80% listening, 20% talking. I really like that ratio. Yeah, and further in the article they talk about like these places where you thrive, where do you survive, and where are you neutral. So it depends for ambiverts, but this can also be filled in for introverts and extroverts as well. And then it talks a little bit about toxicity. I don't know why that's in the article, but for the rest, it's a pretty good article, and I'll link it in the description of this video. And the reason why I made this video is because, well, I found it interesting, so maybe other people find it interesting as well. And other than that, it's really good to understand yourself if you're an ambivert, but also if other people around you are ambivert, extrovert, or introvert, because you will be able to better communicate based on what they need. Right, so this has been your Exicus, and for a little short introduction, I help entrepreneurs who are fighting for sustainability. I do this by helping them break through and grow like bamboo, which is the name of my company, and which is why you're seeing bamboo in the background right there. To do this, to help them break through, I connect them with the right strategies, tools, people, but more importantly, habits and mindset, the right habits and mindset. So if you're one of these people, let me know in the comments or find me on LinkedIn on the same handle, and yeah, let's connect and see if we can help each other. Yeah, that was it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember, as always, to break through and grow like bamboo. Thank you.